The man standing at pump 4 had no face. At least, that's what I thought I saw. I blinked hard and nearly fell out of my chair. It was a little after 2 a.m. I was working the overnight shift at a gas station off Route 25 outside Buffalo. The place was isolated, the kind of station that only saw a few customers after midnight. By that hour, traffic had completely died down. The parking lot was empty, too empty. I rubbed my eyes and looked back at the security monitor. Pump 4 was empty. No customer, no vehicle, nothing. I let out a nervous laugh. I was exhausted. I'd been struggling to stay awake all night. I figured I was just seeing things. I got up and stretched. That's when I noticed the front door. It was slightly open, only an inch, but I knew I'd locked it earlier. I walked over and pushed it shut. Then I checked the lock. Click. Locked. A few minutes later, a sound broke the silence. Coming from the front window. I looked outside. Nothing. The lot was empty. No cars, no people, no movement. I stepped away. The sound came back, this time from the side window. Slow, patient, almost deliberate, like someone wanted my attention. My stomach tightened. I hurried back behind the counter and checked the monitors again. Pump 4. The figure was back, standing directly beneath the fluorescent lights. Tall, completely still. No car nearby, no movement, just a dark silhouette. Then the screen flickered, and he was gone. My hands shook so badly, I almost dropped my coffee. That's when I noticed the front door handle. It slowly turned downward, then back up. Someone was testing the lock. I froze. A second later, every security monitor turned to static, one after another. Then the power went out. Everything, the lights, the coffee machine, the refrigerators, gone. The silence hit me immediately. The building felt dead, like it was holding its breath. Then I heard footsteps outside. Heavy boots moving across the gravel, slowly circling the building. Getting closer and closer. I couldn't move. I couldn't even swallow. The footsteps stopped right outside the glass door. A tall shape stood on the other side, pressed against the glass. I couldn't make out a face. There wasn't one, just darkness. A black void where a face should have been. The figure slowly raised a hand toward the glass. I stopped breathing. The lights suddenly flashed back on. The refrigerators roared to life. The monitors came back online, and the front door swung open with a cheerful chime. "Hey buddy, you awake in here?" The voice nearly gave me a heart attack. A truck driver walked inside laughing. He tossed a bottle of soda onto the counter. Just like that, everything felt normal again. I rang up his purchase with shaking hands. The trucker paid, grabbed his keys, and headed back outside. A minute later, his rig pulled out of the lot and disappeared down the highway. I watched it go. Then I glanced at the security monitor one last time. Pump 4. For a split second, just a single frame, something was standing under the station lights, waiting, exactly where I'd seen it before. I found out way too late that 3 night watchmen had disappeared from the city library over the last 30 years. The police never figured out what happened to them. The only thing they ever found was a flashlight left burning on the floor of the archive hall. I didn't know any of that when I took the job. I was a college student looking for extra money during the semester. Night security at the library seemed easy enough. On my first shift, the old caretaker, Mr. Harris, handed me a ring of keys. As I turned to leave, he suddenly grabbed my shoulder. His expression changed. He glanced down the hallway before leaning closer. "Remember one thing, kid." His voice dropped to a whisper. "No matter what you hear, never pick up any books that fall from the 13th shelf." I laughed awkwardly. He didn't. Just walk away. I figured it was some weird story they told every new hire. Nothing more. My shift started normally. A few patrols, a few security checks. Nothing unusual. Around 3 in the morning, I was walking through the archive hall. The place was completely silent. Tall oak shelves stretched from floor to ceiling. Most of the books looked ancient, like nobody had touched them in decades. I swept my flashlight across the dusty shelves. Then I heard it. A heavy thud, loud enough to echo through the entire hall. I froze. The sound had come from somewhere behind me. Slowly, I turned around. At the base of the 13th shelf sat a massive black book. It hadn't been there a moment earlier. The cover was made of cracked leather. There was no title, no writing at all, only a strange design pressed into the surface. It looked almost like a face. Its mouth stretched open in a silent scream. The book lay open on the floor, and the pages were moving. Not from air, not from a draft. They were rising and falling ever so slightly, like something was breathing. Mr. Harris's warning immediately came back to me. I should have walked away. Instead, I stepped closer. That's when I heard the whisper. It came from deep inside the darkness between the shelves. Dry, raspy, like dead leaves scraping across concrete. "Pick it up." The voice paused, then continued. "Put it back." Another pause. "The order is broken." The temperature dropped instantly. My breath fogged in front of me. Every instinct told me to run, but I couldn't move, or at least not the way I wanted to. My legs carried me forward on their own, one step, then another. My arms reached down. I tried to fight it. Nothing happened. My fingers touched the leather cover. It felt ice cold. The second I made contact, the pages began flipping wildly. I looked down. There wasn't any printed text inside, only names and dates, written by hand, line after line, page after page. Thomas, October 14th, 1994. Nick, March 3rd, 2012. More names followed, dozens of them, maybe hundreds. Then a blank page appeared. Fresh black ink began spreading across the paper. Right in front of me, letter by letter, my name, Ethan. I couldn't look away. Then came the date, June 19th, 2026. The numbers glowed dark red. I tried to scream. I tried to drop the book. My hands wouldn't let go. Then something moved beside me. The shadow cast by the bookshelf peeled away from the wall. At first, I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me. Then it stood up. A towering silhouette, too tall, too thin, with long black arms reaching toward me. It rushed forward, fast, far too fast. The book snapped shut with a crack that echoed through the hall. Everything went black. The next morning, Mr. Harris found only one thing in the archive hall. My flashlight, still lying on the floor. Its fading beam pointed into the darkness. They never found me, just like they never found the others. And on the 13th shelf, the black book sat quietly in its usual place, waiting for the next night watchman. I knew something was off before I even started the engine. That afternoon, my company assigned me a replacement truck because my usual rig was in the shop for maintenance. From the outside, everything looked normal. The cab was clean. The inspection sticker was brand new. There wasn't a scratch on it. But when I opened the driver's door, I noticed something carved into the plastic above the dashboard. 3 words. "Don't stop for her." I laughed when I saw it. Truck drivers leave weird stuff behind all the time. That night, I was hauling a load of electronics down a 2-lane highway that cut through miles of empty farmland. It was well past midnight, hardly any traffic. The truck ran perfectly. The engine sounded great. The GPS worked fine. The CB radio occasionally picked up distant conversations from other drivers. Still, I couldn't shake the feeling that whoever had driven this truck before me had left that message for a reason. Around 2:30 in the morning, I pulled into a gas station to grab coffee. While paying, I casually mentioned the words scratched into the dashboard. The cashier looked up. What did it say? Don't stop for her. For a moment, he just stared at me. Then he forced a smile. Probably some idiot messing around. But the color had completely drained from his face. I got back on the road. About 40 minutes later, I saw her. A woman standing on the shoulder by herself. No car, no lights, nothing. She was wearing jeans and a light-colored jacket. Her head was lowered. One arm hung strangely at her side. I checked my mirrors. The nearest town was more than 20 miles away. My foot came off the gas. Maybe she'd been in a wreck. Maybe she needed help. Then I remembered the warning. Don't stop for her. I kept driving. As I passed, she slowly raised her head. Our eyes met for less than a second. I still can't explain it. She didn't look supernatural. She didn't look like a monster. Something just felt wrong, like she wasn't surprised to see me, like she'd been waiting specifically for my truck. About a mile later, the radio exploded with static. Then I heard a woman's voice. Calm, close, way too close. It sounded like she was sitting inside the cab with me. Why didn't you stop? I nearly drove off the road. The CB radio wasn't even connected anymore. I'd unplugged it a few minutes earlier because of all the interference. My hands tightened around the steering wheel. You're tired, I told myself. That's all this is. Then the GPS screen flickered. The map disappeared. Then a single line appeared on the screen. She's still behind you. I immediately looked into the side mirror. The shoulder was empty. But in the reflection of the polished trailer, I saw someone running. Not behind the truck, beside it, keeping pace with me at 65 miles an hour. My heart practically stopped. I slammed my foot on the accelerator. The engine roared. The figure stayed right there, head down, arms pumping, matching my speed perfectly. Then she snapped her head toward the mirror and looked directly at me, right at me. I hit the brakes. The truck skidded hard. When I finally looked back, the road behind me was completely empty. No person, no footprints, nothing. I finished the route before sunrise. The next day, when I returned the truck, I asked the dispatcher about the previous driver. He got quiet. Then he told me the truck had been found abandoned 3 weeks earlier on that same stretch of highway. The driver had never been located. Right before leaving the yard, I checked the dashboard one last time. The original message was still there, but underneath it, carved into the fresh white plastic, was something new. There was a new message. Thanks for not stopping.